Hello guys, we proceed with the selective reabsorption in the loop of Henle. So after selective reabsorption in the proximal convoluted tubules, the filtrate enters the loop of Henle. The loop of Henle is divided into two parts, the descending limb and the ascending limb. The descending limb is highly permeable to water and therefore it ensures maximum reabsorption of water, while the ascending limb is impermeable to water. Therefore, it is involved in reabsorption of salt minerals, specifically the sodium chloride. The main function of the loop of Henle is reabsorption of water, that is, conservation of water in the body. So the volume of urine depends on the length of the loop of Henle. The longer the loop of Henle, the smaller the amount of volume produced. And the shorter the loop of Henle, the higher the volume of urine produced. So this is why animals such as birds and mammals living in land and some kangaroo rat that lives in desert have longer loop of Henle. This ensures that maximum amount of water will be reabsorbed by the loop of Henle to reduce the water loss in these organisms during urination. And on the other hand, some aquatic mammals or semi-aquatic mammals, they have short loop of Henle. This ensures that only few amount of water will be reabsorbed by the loop of Henle due to its shortness and therefore forming large volume of urine, which enable them to reduce or to move out the excess water from their body. The filtrate then moves to the other part of renal tubules, which is the distal convoluted tubules and the collecting duct. So both distal convoluted tubules and the collecting duct are involved in osmoregulation and the pH regulation, which takes place through reabsorption of water, calcium and sodium ions. This is by osmosis under the control of the hormone which is called antidiuretic hormone produced by the pituitary gland. For maximum efficiency of the distal convoluted tubules, it is simply long, which increases the surface area for maximum reabsorption, but also there is some secretions of potassium and hydrogen ions in these tubules, which combines with the filtrate to form urine. From the collecting ducts, after passage through the collecting ducts, the fluid is brought into a ureter and temporarily stored in the bladder before it leaves the bladder through urethra during urination. Thank you guys for listening. That is how urine is formed.